What if everything you have been told about why your legs are getting weaker is completely wrong? Seniors are told the same thing over and over again. Your legs are weakening because you are getting older. That is just how it goes. Accept it. Slow down. Be careful. But that explanation leaves out the most important part of the story. And the part that gets left out is the part that could change everything for you. The real reason most seniors lose leg strength after 60 has nothing to do with age and everything to do with 3 specific vitamins your body desperately needs during the night to repair, rebuild, and restore your legs while you sleep. And here is what makes this even more frustrating. These nutrients are inexpensive, they are completely natural, and they are not profitable for anyone to sell you in large quantities. That is exactly why you will not hear about them in advertisements. Stay informed, stay rational, take your health seriously. That is exactly why they rarely come up in routine medical appointments. Not because the science is uncertain. The science is overwhelming. But because there is simply no financial incentive for anyone to make them famous. Here is what the research actually shows. One missing vitamin increases nighttime leg cramps by 42%. Another delays muscle repair by 37%. A third one triples your fall risk after the age of 60. Triple. And the number 1 vitamin we are going to reveal today has been shown in clinical studies to boost leg strength by 31% in seniors who were previously getting almost none of it. When these 3 nutrients are absent from your body at night, your muscles cannot recover from the day, your nerves cannot communicate properly with your legs, and your foundation, the very thing that keeps you upright, mobile, and independent, begins to quietly collapse from the inside out. But here is the part that changes everything. Recent research shows that seniors who begin taking these 3 specific vitamins before bed experience faster muscle repair, measurable reductions in leg pain, and noticeably better balance in some cases within just days of starting. Not weeks. Days. In this video, we are going to reveal all 3 of these vitamins ranked from least to most powerful based on the latest clinical evidence. Every single claim we make is research-backed, and every reference is linked in the description below so you can verify it yourself. Before we begin, drop a comment telling us where you are watching from, how old you are, and what vitamins you currently take each day. We reply to every single comment with specific suggestions based on your age, your routine, and what your legs actually need. This is your chance to get real answers. Do not hold back. Now let us get into it. Starting with number 3. A vitamin most seniors have heard of, but almost no one is taking correctly or at the right time. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B12. Most seniors have come across vitamin B12 at some point. But almost nobody realizes how absolutely critical it is for strong legs, stable movement, and overnight muscle repair. Think of vitamin B12 as the power line that keeps your muscles and your nervous system connected. The moment that line weakens, your legs start failing. Not simply because of muscle loss alone, but because the communication channel between your brain and your legs begins breaking down. Over time, that breakdown becomes weakness, then imbalance, then dangerous falls that change everything. Here is the problem that nobody explains clearly enough. After 60, your body becomes significantly less capable of absorbing B12 from food. And this is not something you did wrong. As you age, your stomach produces progressively less hydrochloric acid, the substance required to unlock B12 from the proteins in meat, eggs, and fish. Even if your diet is excellent, even if you are eating all the right things, your gut may no longer be extracting what your muscles and nerves are desperately waiting for. The National Institutes of Health reports that up to 43% of people over 60 have low or borderline B12 levels, and the majority have no idea. The symptoms do not announce themselves loudly. They creep in slowly and quietly. First, there is some numbness in the feet, then a tingling sensation, then stiffness in the calves. Then one day your knees buckle when you try to stand up from a chair and you find yourself grabbing for the wall. This is not random. This is the direct consequence of what happens when the nerves controlling your legs are not being properly maintained. B12 is essential for building and sustaining the myelin sheath, the protective coating that wraps around your nerve fibers. When B12 levels fall, that coating begins to break down. And when the nerves that carry signals from your brain to your legs become damaged or frayed, Those signals simply cannot get through with the speed and precision your body needs to keep you steady and safe. This is why seniors with B12 deficiency often present with symptoms that closely mirror early-stage Parkinson's disease or diabetic neuropathy. Slowness, an unsteady gait, foot dragging, leg cramps that intensify at night and rob you of sleep. A study published in the journal Neurology followed 2,500 seniors and found that those with low B12 levels were nearly 3 times more likely to develop walking difficulties. They also carried a 60% higher risk of falls compared to those with adequate levels. 3 times more likely. Let that number settle. But here is the piece of this that most people never hear, and it is the piece that makes timing so critical. Your nervous system does its most important repair work during sleep. This is when your body replaces damaged nerve tissue, resets muscle signaling pathways, and runs its nightly restoration cycles through every part of your body, including your legs. If B12 is not present and available in your bloodstream during that window, your nerves do not get what they need to recover. The repair cycle runs, but the raw materials are missing. Nothing gets rebuilt properly. This is precisely why taking B12 before bed makes such a significant difference. It puts the right nutrient into your system at exactly the moment your body is most primed to use it. And unlike stimulants or caffeine, B12 supports calm, steady neurological function. It will not keep you awake. Many seniors actually report deeper and more restorative sleep after beginning a nightly B12 routine, likely because their nervous system is finally getting the overnight support it has been missing. Now the form matters enormously here. Not all B12 supplements are equivalent. The most effective form for seniors is methylcobalamin, a version your body can put to work immediately without requiring multiple conversion steps, which is particularly important if your digestive system is no longer functioning at full capacity. The delivery method matters just as much. Sublingual tablets, the kind that dissolve under your tongue rather than being swallowed, bypass the digestive system entirely and deliver B12 directly into the bloodstream through the blood vessel network beneath the tongue. If you have been relying on standard multivitamins or regular oral B12 tablets, there is a strong possibility you are still deficient despite taking them. How quickly can you expect results? Clinical data shows that seniors who successfully restore their B12 levels experience measurable improvements in muscle control, nerve response speed, and leg contraction strength within just 10 to 14 days. One documented case study found that a senior who had been unable to walk unassisted for more than 10 minutes regained full independent mobility after 6 weeks of consistent daily B12 therapy. These are not exceptional outlier stories. This is straightforward nutritional science applied at the right time in the right form. If your legs feel sluggish, numb, or stiff, if you experience twitching at night or feel unsteady when you walk, B12 is where you start. It is not just a supplement, it is a signal. And the longer your nerves go without it, the harder the road back becomes. Vitamin number 2, vitamin D3. This one surprises most people. Vitamin D3 has a reputation as the sunshine vitamin, and most seniors associate it with bone health and nothing much beyond that. But after 60, D3 becomes one of the single most powerful tools your body has to build and protect muscle, specifically in the legs. And if you are not taking it before bed, you are missing the window where it does its most important work. Here is the scope of the problem. Over 70% of seniors are deficient in vitamin D3. The majority do not know it. And the consequences are not subtle. Low D3 directly causes weaker legs, slower muscle recovery, and a significantly elevated fall risk. The research on this is not ambiguous. Here is what most people do not understand about D3. It is not just involved in calcium metabolism and bone density. It plays a direct and active role in muscle protein synthesis, the biological process your body uses to build and repair muscle fibers after use. After 60, your capacity to rebuild muscle following daily activity already declines substantially. That is why you can go for a walk, come home, and still wake up aching the next morning from what should have been a gentle stroll. But when your D3 levels are low, that already impaired rebuilding process slows down even further. This is when sarcopenia, the progressive age-related loss of muscle mass, begins setting in. And it targets the legs first. Your thighs thin. Your calves lose their firmness, your glutes weaken, You may not see it at first, but you will feel it. Getting up from a chair starts requiring more effort. Stairs slow you down. Standing for extended periods becomes uncomfortable. Your world quietly contracts. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism tracked seniors with low D3 levels and found that those who supplemented with D3 at night gained 19% more leg strength and experienced 34% fewer falls over a 3-month period. Not a marginal benefit, a transformative one. The mechanism behind it is that D3 activates specialized muscle receptors that trigger strength and stability responses. And those receptors are most active during deep sleep, when your body releases growth hormone and enters its primary muscle rebuilding phase. Taking D3 at night synchronizes the supplement with the exact biological window where it has the greatest impact. There is another dimension to this that rarely gets discussed. D3 also actively reduces inflammation inside your muscle tissue. That deep, persistent ache in your thighs, that burning sensation in your calves that appears in the evening and lingers into the night. In many cases, what you are feeling is chronic low-level microinflammation, and D3 is one of the most effective regulators of that process. A study from Frontiers in Aging found that D3-deficient seniors experienced twice the rate of nighttime leg pain and significantly reduced overnight muscle repair compared to those with sufficient levels. The participants who began taking D3 before sleep not only reduced their pain but also demonstrated measurable improvements in walking speed and balance across 6 weeks. The most common mistake seniors make with D3 is taking it in the morning or skipping it altogether. Taking it at night aligns it with your body's natural repair cycle. Muscles are not primarily built through activity. They are built while you sleep. And without D3 present during that window, the rebuilding process runs at a significant disadvantage. And no, sun exposure alone is not a reliable solution after 60. Your skin produces approximately 75% less vitamin D3 from the same amount of sunlight compared to when you were young. Even seniors who spend time outdoors daily are often still falling well short of what their bodies need. Supplementation is no longer optional, it is essential. For most seniors, a dose between 2,000 and 4,000 international units of D3 per night produces meaningful results. However, the ideal dose for your specific situation should be based on a blood test. Always choose D3, not D2, and always take it alongside a small source of healthy fat, such as almond butter, a few walnuts, or a small piece of avocado, because D3 is fat-soluble and cannot be properly absorbed without it. Despite what some people worry about, D3 does not disrupt sleep. Research actually suggests it may enhance sleep quality by calming the nervous system and reducing the frequency of nighttime leg cramps. If your legs feel tight and resistant to improvement despite your efforts, if you have noticed your walking pace slowing down, if rebuilding strength feels like pushing against an invisible wall, a D3 deficiency may be the reason your recovery has stalled every single night without you realizing it. Vitamin number 1, vitamin K2. And now we arrive at the vitamin almost no senior is talking about. The one that may be doing more silent damage through its absence than anything else on this list. And the one with research behind it that is nothing short of remarkable. This is not vitamin K1, the form found in leafy greens and associated with blood clotting. This is K2, and it operates deep inside your bones and muscles on processes that K1 does not touch. If you are over 60 and your legs feel weak, achy, or unreliable, if your knees crack when you rise from a seat, if your calves feel rubbery and exhausted by midday, there is a very real possibility that your body is running critically low on K2, and the damage has been accumulating quietly for years. What does K2 actually do? At its core, K2 functions as the body's calcium traffic director. It determines where calcium goes. It sends calcium into your bones where it strengthens and protects them. And it actively keeps calcium away from your arteries, your joints, and your soft tissues, where its presence causes stiffness, inflammation, and pain. When K2 is insufficient, calcium loses its guidance system. It drifts into blood vessel walls and hardens them. It accumulates in joints and creates grinding discomfort. It deposits in soft tissues and contributes to that tight aching quality in your legs that seems to have no obvious explanation. This is why seniors with low K2 often experience both fragile bones and chronically painful legs simultaneously. The calcium is not going where it needs to go, but K2 does something beyond calcium management that most people are completely unaware of. It directly activates the genes responsible for muscle repair. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients gave older adults a daily dose of K2 and tracked their strength and physical function over time. Within just 8 weeks, participants demonstrated a 21% increase in quadricep strength and a 31% improvement in standing balance. That is not the modest background effect of a general wellness supplement. That is measurable targeted muscle activation. And the results were most pronounced in those who took K2 before bed, during the hours when bones and muscles are in their most active rebuilding phase. K2 also works in direct partnership with vitamin D3 in a way that makes both of them significantly more effective together than either is alone. Think of D3 as the nutrient that brings calcium into your bloodstream and increases its availability throughout your body. K2 is the system that ensures that calcium actually reaches your bones rather than being deposited in the wrong places. Without adequate K2, supplementing with D3 can create a situation where more calcium is circulating through your body with nowhere specific to go, potentially worsening joint stiffness or arterial hardness rather than improving your bones. This is why some seniors who take D3 consistently and still experience joint pain or leg stiffness are unknowingly missing the K2 that would make the D3 fully effective. They are running one half of a system that requires both parts to function properly. There is yet another layer to what K2 contributes. It activates a protein called osteocalcin, which simultaneously stimulates bone formation and enhances glucose metabolism inside muscle tissue. For seniors managing prediabetes, insulin resistance, or circulation problems, this dual function is particularly significant. A clinical trial published in Aging and Disease found that seniors supplementing with K2 showed improved blood sugar regulation and stronger leg endurance during daily walking assessments. When taken before bed, K2 was also shown to support overnight muscle glycogen replenishment, meaning participants woke up with stronger, less fatigued legs the following morning. The reason most seniors are deficient in K2 is straightforward. It is simply not present in meaningful quantities in the modern diet. The primary food sources are fermented foods like natto, certain aged cheeses, and specific organ meats. Unless those foods are a regular part of your eating pattern, you are almost certainly not getting enough. Supplementing with MK7, the most bioavailable and longest-lasting form of K2, is the most reliable solution. MK7 remains active in your system significantly longer than other forms, providing more consistent calcium direction and muscle support throughout the night. Taking K2 before bed positions it perfectly to work alongside D3 during the hours your bones and muscles are most actively rebuilding. If you are already supplementing with D3, adding K2 is not optional. It is the missing key that unlocks what the D3 has been trying to accomplish all along. If your legs feel weak, if stairs have become a challenge that used to be effortless, if you are experiencing knee or calf pain that has appeared or worsened in recent years, K2 may be the single most important addition you make to your routine. It could be the reason your strength has not returned, your muscles have not bounced back, and your legs have continued losing ground despite everything else you have tried. How to build your nightly routine. Starting tonight. Now let us bring all three of these together into a simple, clear, and sustainable nightly routine. Because timing, form, and consistency are what separate people who see results from people who do not. Start with vitamin B12. Because your digestive system becomes less efficient with age, the form you choose is critical. Sublingual methylcobalamin is what you want. A small tablet placed under your tongue and allowed to dissolve completely without swallowing. Take this approximately 30 minutes before bed, ideally on an empty stomach or at least 2 hours after your last meal. This gives your body uninterrupted access to direct B12 absorption without competition from digestion. A practical tip is to leave the bottle next to your toothbrush so it becomes an automatic part of your evening routine. If you are new to B12, begin with 1,000 micrograms daily and pay attention to changes in your energy, your sleep quality, and how your legs feel over the following weeks. Next, vitamin D3. Choose a soft gel or capsule containing at least 2,000 international units of cholecalciferol, which is the natural form your body is designed to work with. Because D3 is fat-soluble, it must be taken alongside a small source of dietary fat for proper absorption. A spoonful of almond butter, a few nuts, or a small piece of cheese before bed works well. Avoid taking it with a heavy meal, as significant digestion during sleep can interfere with both your rest and your absorption. Take D3 approximately 20 to 30 minutes before sleep. You can take it at the same time as your B12 to keep the routine simple. Leave both bottles somewhere visible, beside your evening tea, on your nightstand, wherever you will see them without having to think about it. Finally, vitamin K2. Look specifically for the MK7 form at a dose of 100 to 200 micrograms. This is the version with the longest active window in your body, providing more continuous calcium direction and muscle support through the night than other forms. Take it at the same time as your D3 since they function as a coordinated team. A small fat-based snack enhances absorption here as well. If you are also taking a calcium supplement or consuming calcium-rich foods during the day, K2 ensures that calcium is being directed to the right places overnight rather than accumulating where it should not be. If you are managing prescription medications, space these vitamins at least 1 hour away from any prescribed drugs, unless your healthcare provider advises otherwise. The simplest approach is to create a small dedicated bedtime tray, a glass of water, your 3 supplements, and perhaps a small healthy snack and a cup of herbal tea. The ritual itself helps cement the habit, and the habit is what produces the results. The sequence each night is this: B12 under the tongue first, then D3 and K2 together with a small fat-containing snack. All taken within the 30 minutes before you sleep. Quiet, simple, consistent. And then let your body do what it has been waiting to do. Repair, restore, and rebuild your legs while you rest. 3 additional habits that accelerate everything. Once your nightly vitamin routine is established, 3 straightforward daily habits can significantly amplify the results without adding complexity, additional supplements, or any kind of demanding physical commitment. The first is deliberate hydration throughout the day. Most seniors dramatically underestimate how much dehydration is working against their leg strength. When your body is running low on fluids, your blood thickens, circulation slows, and your muscle cells lose a significant portion of their ability to absorb nutrients. Even if you are taking B12, D3, and K2 correctly every night, inadequate hydration means those nutrients cannot reach the muscles and nerves that need them efficiently. That dull, persistent ache in your legs at night that you have come to associate with age may in many cases be a hydration problem. A study published in the Journal of Aging Research found that even mild dehydration caused a 14% reduction in leg endurance and delayed overnight muscle recovery by several hours. The solution is not to consume large amounts of water at once. It is to sip steadily throughout the day. A glass approximately every 90 minutes while you are awake is a reliable target. You can add a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water has no appeal. Stop drinking fluids about an hour before bed to avoid disrupting your sleep. When paired with your nightly vitamins, consistent hydration becomes a quiet but powerful accelerator. The second habit concerns the timing and content of your evening meal. If your last meal of the day is heavy, starch-loaded, or high in sugar, your body will dedicate most of the night to processing it rather than to the muscle repair and nerve restoration your legs need. Digestion slows considerably in the evening hours, and a high-carbohydrate late dinner can quietly elevate inflammation throughout your leg tissue while simultaneously reducing the efficiency with which your body absorbs D3 and K2 during sleep. Research published in Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consumed a high glycemic evening meal after 7 p.m. had twice the rate of nighttime muscle stiffness and 38% less efficient nutrient absorption during sleep compared to those who ate lighter earlier meals. The practical adjustment is straightforward. Keep your last meal light. A palm-sized portion of lean protein such as grilled chicken or boiled eggs combined with a handful of leafy greens or lightly steamed vegetables is ideal. Allow at least 2 hours between finishing your meal and taking your supplements. That quiet digestive gap creates the optimal conditions for your vitamins to work undisturbed through the night. The third habit is gentle leg movement before sleep. Not exercise, not a workout. Just a few minutes of deliberate movement that activates blood flow and tells your nervous system that your legs are engaged and ready to be worked on while you rest. When you gently move your leg muscles before lying down, you improve local circulation in a way that helps transport B12, D3, and K2 directly into the muscle tissue that needs them most. This translates into reduced morning stiffness and more visible strength gains over time. A simple approach is to do 10 seated leg extensions, a series of slow ankle circles, or 10 controlled heel raises while standing at the edge of your bed. These small movements do not require equipment or significant effort.
A 2021 study in geriatric rehabilitation found that seniors who performed just 5 minutes of gentle leg movement before sleep experienced a 22% increase in overnight blood flow to the lower limbs and reported less cramping, less morning stiffness, and measurably better balance within only 10 days. When you stack these 3 habits alongside your nightly vitamins, you are not just supplementing. You are creating the complete set of conditions your body needs to produce real, lasting, measurable change in your legs. Not temporary relief, genuine restoration. Where we land. 3 vitamins. 3 silent deficiencies that most seniors never connect to the leg weakness, pain, and instability they have been told to simply live with. 3 powerful but overlooked solutions that your body can begin using tonight. Vitamin B12, to restore the nerve pathways that keep your brain and your legs in communication. Vitamin D3, to fuel the muscle rebuilding process and bring inflammation under control. Vitamin K2, to direct calcium where it belongs, activate the genes responsible for muscle repair, and reverse the quiet structural breakdown that has been stealing your strength for years. You do not need more confusion. You do not need more expensive treatments. You do not need to accept what you have been told is inevitable. You need the right nutrients at the right time, delivered in the right form. And you need to start tonight. Because tonight is when your body is ready to rebuild, and it cannot do that work without the tools it needs. We want to hear from you. Are you currently taking any of these vitamins before bed, or is tonight going to be the night you start? Leave your answer in the comments. We read every single one, and we reply to every single one. If this video helped you in any way, please hit the like button and share it with someone you care about who might need to hear this. Subscribe for more research-backed health content created specifically for seniors. Your legs have been carrying you through your entire life. Let us make sure they keep doing that for every year ahead.